quick note before we even get into any discussion about what the lift is going to be. Let's do a quick reality check. Let's do a quick little mental scan on whether or not you have the mindset of a baller or a chump. There's rarely an in-between, And there's a lot of different things that can go into that fucking, discipline and workload and consistency and fucking, time management, whatever. But one key aspect which, your mental state can kind of change between is how prepared you feel for any endeavor that you may encounter, right? So regardless of skill or practice or fucking, just how prepared you are for anything, you can go into it with a mentality that you're gonna fucking kill it, or you can be real hesitant with yourself and sort of start getting real anxious. Oh crap, I don't know if, oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. I can be real nervous, And I know it's such a stupid thing to hear. Like, when people say to guys who are like nervous about going up to girls, like, oh, it's all about confidence, man, just be confident. That sounds so stupid, right? But with a lot of shit, honestly, sort of how confident you are about whatever you're doing will end up translating into how you fucking perform and how you act. Even just like your little body language, If you're much more anxious or nervous, or you kind of uncertain about whatever you're about to do, lift, test, whatever, like that's all I fucking talk about. You're kind of setting yourself up, maybe not for failure, because you'll hear like fucking Olympic athletes who get a gold medal, and even them, they're like, oh, I didn't know I could do it. Oh, I was so nervous, blah, blah. So that's a little bit of a contradiction of what I'm trying to say here. But if you can go into something with some, confidence to the level of delusion, then you've got better fighting odds, If you put me in a cage with, insert any fucking fighter, Conor McGregor, Strickland, Adesanya, I'm not going to say I've got a good chance at all in the beginning, but if I'm confident, I feel like I'm going to have at least better odds than if I'm like, oh crap, I'm about to get fucking whooped, Because if you have that fucking negative approach in the beginning, how are you going to manifest a fucking, solid reality, right? It's kind of like, this is such like kind of mumbo jumbo, repetitive motivational talk, but I think you get what I'm trying to say here. So what made me think about this was, for whatever reason, it popped up in my head. Like, there has never really been a time, at least with regards to me, about lifting and like strength and size gains. I've never really had a time where I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. Oh, I don't know if I can keep going to the gym this consistently. Like, and I haven't been that with everything in my life, of course. Like back when I did like gymnastics and diving and stuff, or other sports, I never really had that. But what I think can improve your odds of sort of getting to that level of confidence is when you've seen tangibly and fucking irrefutably legit progress for yourself. So if you go to the gym every day for a week straight, it looks like you're going to be able to do it for another week. So the more consistently you do something, the more, certain it just kind of, or the more of a certainty it just becomes that you're going to be able to keep doing it, So you may not really, I don't know if I exactly translated that from my mind into fucking, tangible thought as well as I may have wanted to. But if you're about to hit a lift, or if you're about to start dieting down, or you're about to start bulking up, or you're about to take a test that you didn't really study for enough, you're going to have much better odds if you're fucking hyped up and confident, instead of fucking, held back and nervous. That's all I'm trying to say there. So, if that was cohesive, good. Very good. But in terms of the lift, let's get into some fucking actual real talk. Today is arms, and it's only 3:30 right now, so whenever I lift earlier, I'm a little bit more prone to lift longer and add more accessory work. So I think I'm going to throw in forearms as well. Not like my forearms are too small, but I do want bigger fucking forearms. And it's difficult to get forearms that are too big. Insert Lee Priest image. Insert Ramon Dino doing a fucking side tricep. And big forearms are fucking cool. It's the calves of the arms. So I'll probably do that afterwards. Mainly this bottom part, like what are flexors? I don't know, like the meat, the grip side of my forearm is what I really want to thicken up. So like when you do this kind of like boxing looking flex, there's a ton of fucking meat on the underside of my arm. I don't really want to work my, upper forearm from doing like hammer curls and stuff too much, because when your upper forearm gets really big, if your brachial radialis is overdeveloped, you do kind of get a little bit of a funky arm shape. Like it's, I don't know, just kind of not for me, right? I can't really think of an example of somebody right now. And even if I could, I wouldn't want to point someone out and say, man, this guy's forearms look weird. That's fucking just mean. But for me, I kind of want to just thicken up upper arms and my forearm down here. And if you think about it like that, those two parts of my arms are kind of what I'd sort of say, like, it's just thickening up like the middle of them, right? When I work my upper arm, my biceps and my triceps, it's going to make the diameter of my upper arm way thicker, but not really thicken up, my elbow itself. So if you've got massive arms and then a really big set of forearms on the underside, then it won't really make your elbow joint look much bigger. So when you fucking flex, super thick, tapers in your elbow, and then super thick again. Kind of playing into the, optical illusion side of bodybuilding. But either way, triceps will consist of, at this point, if you've seen any of these arm days, you already freaking know. Push downs of a few varieties: straight bar, rope, single arm underhanded, and the list goes on. But definitely some straight bar push downs. Yeah, I think some skull crushers as well, but on an incline bench. For whatever reason, I think that feels a little better for my elbows. And that's pretty much going to be it. How complicated should tricep training be? Right? You can do overhead stuff and you do regular push downs or kickbacks, but no matter what movement you're doing, bent arm, straight arm and flex. Bent arm, straight, like it's just the same shit, And with biceps, even though there are different insertions and your fucking what's it called on the outside of your bicep? I forget. I don't know. There's different heads to your bicep. Bi meaning two, so there's two different parts. But as long as you're doing hard curls and you do a different kind, or you do a few different kinds, I think you're gonna be good. So I'll just pick the ones I like the most. Dumbbell alternating, maybe easy bar preacher, maybe some straight bar cable curls. It's just, nothing too hard, but maybe 8 or, as many sets as I feel like I need, but if I had to guess, probably 8 or 9 sets of each. And then I think I'll do all of triceps first, then all of bis. Just give triceps full attention. But I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to get pumped up to shit. I'm going to make my forearms burn at the end of it. And then I can go home and pick up some Chipotle and just hang out. I don't have too much schoolwork either, so I feel very spoiled on days when I don't have a lot of class and I train early in the day, because now I get my whole night to just do whatever the fuck I want. I should clean my kitchen. It is a fucking mess. And I'm not even talking just like dishes, just like boxes and different, like it just is a hub of just all sorts of random shit all over my kitchen counter. Not good. Honestly, if I yeah, I'd be embarrassed to show it. So maybe that is what I should do today. But that won't affect the pump. So how important is it really? Let's park. Hope it's not too crowded. Get started. Heavy single arm pushdowns will be movement number 1. I mean, go as heavy as you can, but heavy single arm pull downs, I'll say this, they will humble your strength a little bit. When you do heavy straight bar pushdowns or V-bar or whatever, when you have both of your hands right here, you can kind of use your chest and your shoulders to really help wrench down the weight. But when you do single arm, you don't have that kind of, overpowering, like pushing force to help you. So this position, much more tricep bias. So as heavy as I can go for a good set, I'll probably do maybe 2 or 3 to be determined. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. One more, same weight. Usually I want to start as heavy as I can go, but sometimes after one first working set, I don't want to say you get in the groove, but after you've really activated whatever muscle you're hitting, I think it'll fire a little better. So I don't mind increasing weight in the first few sets, just to really get into the groove. Oh my God. One more and that was too heavy. I'll go a little lighter. I'll go back and forth for this set. I'll do a drop set. Yeah. Yeah. All right, that's enough of that. What do you think next? Machine dips or French press? To be determined. Yeah. If I were to go do skull crushers right now, I think I'd have to go heavy enough for a good set, or it would probably mess with my elbows. So instead, let's just keep doing some machine dips, maybe probably 3 or so sets. So by the time I move on to, overhead kind of skull crushers, my triceps just aren't strong enough to do a ton of weight. I mean, I love the feeling, but skull crushers is the first tricep movement. At least for me, I mean, it's just too much wrenching tension on my elbows. But later on in the workout, when I'm already fatigued and I'm weak enough where I have to use light weight, perfect. So let's go nuts here. Yeah. A few more. One more. This will be a drop set. Yeah. Okay. Skull crusher time. Let's migrate to the benches. Okay, 1 plate, a 10 and a 5 on the easy bar. Should be about as much weight as I need. Now all I have to do is get hyped up. Oh, perfect. I think that's enough of that. Straight bar would be a perfect finisher. Now, of course, I can handle the stack, but now that it's the end of the tricep workout, the stack feels fucking heavy, way heavier than it's in the beginning. So, I'm gonna focus on squeezing, burning. Honestly, if this were a thermal camera, you could see as the set progresses, they gradually increase till they were fucking red hot. But we don't have that big of a budget for these cinematography. But let's throw the shit around. Okay, one more, and then we'll move on to curls. Okay. Oh, I could tell I was starting to use my chest to finish those reps. All done. All done there. Okay, so I feel a little tendinitis-y in my right forearm, so I do not think it's going to be an awesome move for me to try to like wrench the 80s upward. So instead, I think this will be a perfect opportunity to do a complete flip around of my approach with biceps and start with machine curls. Reasonably light, and these are going to be very squeeze focused. A lot of the sets I do for bis when I'm strong and fresh is just as much weight as fucking possible, which I like it. An insane amount of tension on my biceps. Like they're doing a ton of work in those, 8, 9, 10 reps to failure. But on the opposite side of the spectrum, as we all know, these kind of lighter, controlled squeezing reps really hold it for a moment. So that's what this set is going to be. Starting with my right side, which is a little smaller than the left. Let's just repeat that X amount more times. Okay. At least one more like that. Okay. Fuck. Okay. Whew. Holy shit. Yeah. One more set with self-assistance, and then move on to whatever else. Just whatever piques my fancy. Oh my god. Oh my god. Woo. Fuck. I want to do something else, but only for the fucking fact that I want to hit my biceps in a slightly different way. And for whatever reason today, I don't want to do all of the same movement. But that's the only reason why I'm moving on. These feel fucking awesome, especially with those self-assisted reps at the end. Fuck, I might come back here, honestly. We'll see. I'm gonna tone back on the weight side. And this will be, I mean, I can control this weight pretty well. And I'm really gonna focus on squeezing as fucking hard as I can. If I go too heavy, I can tell I'm starting to fucking feel it in here. And if something hurts, typically, I'm gonna go ahead and say as a good move, don't do it, right? Or go light enough where it doesn't, you know? Basic shit, but definitely worth thinking about and implementing. Actually, I'm gonna go even lighter. Perfect. That's a rare occurrence, moving the sack down in weight, but not a bad move. Eesh. Okay. So, not the most traumatic set for my biceps, but burns like hell. A few more here. I know that happened. Okay. I think just one more set of these, and then we can pose down. A little bit easier on the bicep side. Not in terms of like maybe volume, but just a workout of curling insanely heavy for every set does feel a little different than this. But I'm still just as fucking pumped, if not more, from really squeezing. So one more and then pump check. All right, last one. I'll make sure it's a good one. Yeah. Okay. 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 Time to pose. Time to flex. Okay, less than fortunately, there was somebody in here right when I was peak pumped. So this isn't necessarily as pumped as I got. I feel a little smaller. But then again, I'm probably just hypersensitive to that change, and it might not even be fucking noticeable. So let's see how arms are looking after those push downs, dips, skull crushers, machine curls, and then cable curls. Whew. Well, you tell me. You friggin' tell me. Oh my goodness. All right, now that's a good one. Okay. All right. Fully fucking pumped, and I am starving right now. I need to get through the Chipotle line ASAP. What would the order be? Probably 9 or I might even do 12 tacos. Steak, rice, cheese, queso. I mean, I like a Chipotle bowl. If there's one left over that, like, I don't know, somebody in my family got and it's in the fridge and it's up for grabs, I'm gonna eat it. But for whatever reason, those tacos just go down so easy. And I feel like, and this sounds so fucking stupid, but I feel like it kind of takes extra work to really scoop up a bunch of rice. Because unless you have a massive spoon, it's fucking like falling off. With the tacos, I can take a real big ass bite and just have a mouthful of food instantly. So that's something to consider. Make sure that the food that you're eating, you can get it down quick. Because if it takes you 20 minutes just to scoop up, a little bit of rice at a time, might not be that effective. So I'm gonna play around with some forearms, but that'll just be for me. I'll see you in the car. All right. Back from Pump City. Time to go home. Time to go back to the crib and simply just fucking eat. I'm fucking starving. Yeah, I think my Chipotle order is already locked in to my fucking mind. Rice, steak, cheese, queso. I'll look up online the macros, but this is where it's going to be better for you as a lifter to have, well, for one thing, track your macros for a while anyway, but the longer you've done it, the more you kind of develop a sense for estimating how many calories are in specific foods. Just from fucking pattern recognition, I'll get to a point now where I'll get these Costco turkey breasts, and it's fucking huge. Like it's a fucking 5 pound hunk of meat. And I'll kind of gauge just how thick to cut it, slice it, and then when I put it on the scale, 8 ounces, half pound. And a half pound of turkey breast lean is fucking 50 grams of protein right there. So I'll get to the point where I can kind of eyeball it, where I probably don't even need to weigh it on the scale. I do anyway, just because I want to be exact with this kind of shit. But you do get a sense for it, So when I see the Chipotle dude make my fucking food, I can literally see how much cheese and how much queso and steak and rice that he's putting on it. And sure, if I looked up online Chipotle's macros for 3 steak tacos with all the ingredients that I'm going to have, it's going to change. And I feel a little spoiled, which is nice. But this goes for anybody. Usually, if you're a bigger guy, I mean, of course, I've only really seen this and heard about it from other dudes, but usually they kind of fill you up. At least if I guess you just kind of have to luck out and have the dude making your food also be a lifter, because they can sense that you need some macros to fucking replenish. They can sense you need a little extra steak and a little extra protein and cheese and rice so that you can fuel up and either recover or prepare for a good lift. So pre-lift today, I was around the 75 grams of protein mark. I'm not going to pull it up, but about 75, 450 grams of carbs, and like 40 of fat. So the fats and the proteins, that's not really going to change how I feel during the lift, but the carbs most definitely will. If I were to lift right now, having had zero carbs all day, for one thing, I'd probably feel a little bit more just like weak, but also I think my pump would suffer constantly. If you're a bigger dude and smaller dudes too, but when you have a lot of muscle just floating around your fucking frame, it's constantly burning through glycogen, and especially when you're fucking working out. So if I were to go all day without eating anything, then literally I would shrink down over time, just in the course of the day. Now, of course, that's not actual muscle tissue just being dissolved and digested away, broken down. It's just the intramuscular water and glycogen, the sugar that you're eating all day and the carbs that keep you nice and full. So in a bulk, you're in a constant battle against burning that energy, right? So if my body is going to burn off, I'd have to plug it into a tracker. I'm not really certain, but probably around 3.5, 4,000 calories every day, just, to maintain the size that I have. Then if I eat less than that amount of calories, fuck, dude, it's going to have to get that energy from somewhere, and it's going to suck it out of all the intramuscular carbs that I've got floating around. So constantly supporting my system with extra carbs and fats and calories and proteins and everything else, keeping my gas tank full, that's where you're going to be in a state to make the most, or have the highest probability of making consistent gains. And as long as you're in a calorie surplus for an extended period of time, I can guarantee it with fucking certainty, you will gain weight. And when you couple that with muscle hypertrophy inducing training, like a fucking crazy arm day or a chest day or back day or legs, then that weight is going to consist of some muscle. It's going to consist of some serious contractile tissue, the likes of which are going to turn you into a freak. I was about to say in not that long, but when it comes to, gym gains and like tangible gains over time, it is definitely a long haul. It's this shit is gonna take a while for sure to get from like normal Joe looking to fucking cool looking. But if you can see the changes over time, like for me, 0 months lifting to 6 months lifting, I was considerably bigger. because I didn't do any real strength training except for like, well, that's not true. I did gymnastics as a kid. So I was a 16-year-old, and for one thing, we just do like 2 hours of, I mean, fucking gymnastics, like swinging around bars and doing doing back handsprings, double tucks on the floors and stuff. So just being really active. But we'd also do like 30 minutes of we'd call it conditioning. So not really weight training. It would be more like I did a lot of, I guess I did a lot of circuit training back then. So it'd be 30 minutes of like leg lifts, pull-ups, um, all sorts of, you know, calisthenics level stuff, but nothing where I was really packing on serious muscle mass. Because also, I mean, my diet back then was, let's just say, not optimal for performance, and definitely not optimal for fucking, you know, hypertrophy performance. You know, I would eat some cereal for breakfast, school lunch. Uh, it's been a while since I've had them. I love. I should probably get some just for nostalgia's sake. I would just totally destroy a full bag of croutons. I don't remember which one. It was like garlic onion, something. It was a black bag with like green accents. Those were the fucking best. But you know, just fucking carbs and whatever else. But I'm definitely not surprised that I wasn't really, you know, a softer kid. Even though back then I was eating kind of scrappy foods and sweets and whatever. That was combined with a pretty active lifestyle. I think if I ate the way that I ate back then, and if I ate the way that I eat now, without any activity, without consistent cardio and hard weight training, or without doing, you know, fucking sports back then, if you're not active and, you know, burning off energy and moving around, then a lot of real, I mean, just kind of shit food like processed carbs, everything else, that will definitely fuck with you, you know? Like, in no way, like, listen up for real. In no way do I say that you should be eating a ton of fucking Skittles and ice cream and whatever else. Right? Sure, I do it, but that's not because I'm saying that it's like really good for you or a good approach. But, you know, if you do couple that sort of diet with high intensity exercise consistently, and you know you're actually burning a pretty serious amount of calories, and that doesn't have to be from cardio and weight training. You know, I'm sure back when you were now I'm kind of talking to anybody who's in my, you know, older demographic. Back when you were in high school, let's say you were a fucking linebacker or a running back or whatever, you did some kind of, or you were a wrestler. Like, man, you remember getting away with a lot of shit. Now, part of that is just because you were young and your body is still literally growing. So it is going to make use of most of the calories that you're eating just to literally build your fucking body. But do not, you know, take away, I was about to say blame, but that's not really the right word. What am I thinking of? Well, do not neglect the fact that you could definitely get away with eating that kind of foods, or, you know, a scrappier diet and treats and whatever else, because back then you were incredibly active, much more fucking active than now. I'm not like calling you out or anything. I'm just saying, if you did high school sports, fucking daily activity, sweating your ass off, out of breath level, high ass heart rate level activity, if you go from doing that fucking weekly for weeks on end, for years on end, and then out of nowhere, you get out of high school and you stop doing that, that activity level just totally leaves your fucking daily routine. If you don't accommodate your calorie intake to match that, then you're gonna get fucking hit hard with some body fat. What's the word I'm thinking of? Deposition. Some body fat gain. You know, like, fuck, man. Freshman 15. It's a real fucking occurrence. You know, you go from doing high school sport, being real active, everything else, and then you're off on your own, so you're eating your own food, and you're probably eating extra shitty, and you're not, you know, keeping up with energy expenditure, you know, getting your 1 hour of play per day. I'm not political, but that was an awesome move by the Obama administration. I want to see that more often. Honestly, that would probably sway my fucking vote in the polls if we get some serious lobbying towards raising the activity level of the average American. Fuck, man. A lot of people could use it for sure. So what I'm really trying to say there is the more active you are and the more that you use your body, you are going to get away with a few more treats. And if you're, locked into a very static daily routine, either like you go to school or you go to work or whatever, and you're not really moving around too much, and then you get home and then you just fucking, you don't really do too much activity. Fuck, man. Combine that with like treats and a bunch of crazy hormones in the water and everything else, you're not setting yourself up too well. And so not only is it fun to just be fucking jacked, and I'm not talking about huge, I just mean like in good shape. Like you are going to feel fucking better. So not only are you just going to feel better, but fuck, man. I guess that's all I'm trying to say. You'll feel better. So that's the end of my shtick, I think. Main takeaways I want you to take away. Go hard. Go consistent. And if you have a few treats along the way, it won't hurt you too bad. It will not hurt you too bad. So, legs tomorrow. I got to make sure I'm extra rested, fed, and hydrated. I want to get to the point where I need to buy new shorts to pose in because I don't want to be able to fit in the ones that I have now. Not a bad freaking goal. So, hamstring curls like normal. And I think there will be some squats because my knee feels fucking good. It was a little tender for a while because I fucking scraped it to hell on the sidewalk. So cardio in the morning, of course. Fucking ideally, that's a non-negotiable. I'll be honest with you, I do skip it sometimes. If I stayed up extra late and I got to get up early, or if it's going to cut into your sleep, you are going to be better off getting that extra bit of rest. But that does not mean you're in the clear. That just means you need to be more responsible, go to bed at a reasonable hour so that you can get up, do your morning cardio, and then continue with the rest of your day. Don't think that I've forgotten that you've been skipping it. Even if I don't say it, don't worry, I know. I can sense it. I got a sixth sense. It's like, I feel like Yujiro. I've got x-ray vision to the point where I look at somebody, that guy didn't do his cardio today. Nope. That guy didn't do his cardio today. That guy definitely didn't do his cardio today. And that guy right there who I'm fucking looking at, I know you didn't do your cardio today either. But don't forget, man, all sinners can seek forgiveness. Just accept the cardio bike as your Lord and Savior. I didn't mean that to be like a distasteful joke. I'm just trying to say do your cardio. So, time to eat. I will see you next time.